In this episode of Growing Your Sense of Self Through Self-Defense, we're going to work on what is perhaps the most difficult of all falling skills. It's called a jumping, spinning side fall. And it's actually the one that you see used in, for instance, the throw that Miss Sarah did of me and a couple of guys twice her weight. Up, up, and pop it. So we've seen the low side fall and we've seen the jumping side fall. But this technique involves not only the getting off the ground, but also flipping around and landing on the opposite side of where sort of we're taking off from. So it is a challenging one, but there's ways you can work to build up to it. And again, don't go too far, too fast, and always be careful with whatever landing surface you have. A very good mattress, something like that is very forgiving, is important to have when you're first learning these kinds of techniques. So I'm going to work with a soft mat today, and I will show you some of the ways to get yourself up to the jumping, flipping, spinning side fall. Now the way you start with a jumping, flipping, spinning side fall is from a low, like you're going to do a cat roll. But we're going to modify a little bit, and instead of staying tight in a ball, so that you end up back how you started on your feet, we're going to expand and pop the hips out and land, taking some of the impact with our feet, as well as the side that we tend to land the side fall on. So, looks like this. You start on a low one. This part's going to be the same. You can do it from the stand, maybe a little bit easier to do. But as you start to go over, pop your hips and straighten your body to give your feet an opportunity to take some of the impact. So, like so. Now that wasn't a very good one because I went sideways. I want to go straight. Like so. See how the feet are in there taking some of the impact off? Arms at a 45-degree angle, chin's tucked down towards the chest so the head don't walk back. Let's do it again. We'll start a little bit lower. You can go from the low cat roll. Pick up. That's how you want to end up landing on a jumping, spinning, flipping side fall. If I was doing a side fall from here, I'd have landed this way on this side, feet up in the air tend to be. So I land on the other side, and my head went underneath where my feet were. Now, there's another way you can practice this. As you start getting comfortable with that, again, have a soft surface. Let me set up for this. Now, jumping, flipping, spinning side fall sounds very complex, but it's no harder than just falling out of bed. Right? That's the same technique you'd use if you fell out of bed. So a way you can work up to it, just a little bit higher in the bed, from most beds, is you can have something, a table or a stack of mats, something to give you some altitude that you don't have to elevate yourself. You can use something else to elevate you. So I'm going to start by laying on this as if I'm on somebody's back. If you remember when Miss Sarah was throwing us, there's a moment when we're on her back before we do our flipping, spinning side fall out of it. So you can just lay here and go at your own speed. This arm is the one that's being taken. This is the arm you're going to have to fall on. So just sort of sneak forward a little bit. This arm's got to get out of the way. This arm's got to get out of the way. And then you fall the same kind of way. Right? So you can almost do that, not in slow motion once you start to fall, but teeing up for it before you come down. So this is a way to build up towards jumping, flipping, spinning side falls. But always have a nice soft mat when you're working this. So I'll do this one more time from being elevated. If you're gonna lay on a table or something, make sure it's not one that's gonna tip over, but so when you land it, don't come down and whop you in the chops, right? So creep over, creep over. This arm's going through, and it's a side fall. All right? That's what it looks like in low and with some assistance from something else, right? Could be off of someone's back, which is what we were doing when we were demonstrating that in episode P40. So, jumping, flipping, spinning, side fall, very common when you're being thrown, when you're being swept. So it's a good thing to have a confidence with in that skill. And it does help when somebody's actually holding you, and then you just fall on yourself. So, till next time, kamsahamnida, toodles. Yeah.